bag, that's a big number.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 million bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue punts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Go! 10-2 stop. Topper!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Jones going up top. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Falcons send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Now a carry for Brown. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 16 yards the pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hey, exit. Get it.
Now a handoff looking right. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Running right, here's Brown. They find some open field here. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 33 and a first. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now a give, right side. It's Brown, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Here's Jones operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
That's taken on the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They defer to Brown to start the drive. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
50 cents a month. 50 cents a month. Blue draw corporate. Check.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Lock it. Hey, Sam on. Get it.
On 2nd down, it's Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2nd and 11. Looking left side, and it's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
61, matchbox, lights. Gone. Y'all playing the wrong football.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop the franchise.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
They don't want it. Keep that.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Jones now from the gun. He'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That's pulled in at the 32. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Push him back. Push him back. General West. Look at me. Door. Kill.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fleming. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Check nickel. Hey, lock it. Shit. Ready.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd down now, it's Brown. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now they try the right side here. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. The Vikings seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Carson Wentz has thrown a touchdown pass.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
He's checking.
Here's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff looking right. That good for 22 and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Ready. 30 base. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a first down past the 40. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 now. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week. Now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up. But relentless, that's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying it.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And to give this time to the tailback. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Rock it. Now.
He'll drop to throw. On the left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
And the Colts first down.
They'll run on first down. Brown. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Check. Out. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Ready, set.
Watch 57. All day, punt. Watch tight end. Hey, we got 3 down.
Get it.
On first down, Brown. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Got it.
Mike 57. Switch.
Alert. Crunch. Hey. High 7.
Right back to Brown. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. These guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Ready?
Now Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Brown, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got him. Switch.
Recon, 132 fighter. You're out.
Watch out.
Now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. He finds Hopkins complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Now a give, right side. Brown. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 24, watch 26-6, pull it high. Look, squeeze. Check 4,
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Go there, 60 Pittsburgh. These babies cry all the way back home, yo. General West. These babies cry all the way back home. Gone. Undercrunch. Check.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. This is Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
There's pride on the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
70, Indy. Clear.
Now Jones throwing on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Colts, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans.